Hello, friends, and welcome to yet another Woman of the Zodiac video. So, today I have decided to speak about the Virgo woman. Wow, and just before we get started, I would please request you to please subscribe to my channel so that you're notified every time I release a new video. So, let's get started to see what is Virgo woman. What is a Virgo woman? Well, a Virgo woman is an earthy mercurial lady. Does that make sense? I'm going to go into that. And how is that? Well, she's ruled by the Mercury, so she's very cerebral. Okay, she's very brainy lady of the zodiac. She's brainy and beautiful. Wow, so she's a combination. She's a very balanced combination of beauty and brains. This is what a Virgo lady is. When you see, how do I make out a Virgo lady? Well, when you meet her for the first time, let's say she appears a bit reserved, she'll be a bit cold, reserved. For some of you, you might even find her a bit snobbish or a bit proud, when you just approach her. And she will be very articulate in how she speaks, okay? And a bit of sarcasm will be there in her way of, speaking. Like she'll make, some kind of sarcastic jokes or some kind of things like that. She will just speak, but she will make sense in whatever she speaks. So some of you can be a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning, but then immediately you will see that honest smile on her face. And when she opens up, when she starts opening up, there'll be this honest smile on her face and this kind of, that brightness on her face you will see. And it will put you into the comfort zone, like you will feel comforted. You will feel she's so nice. She's so cordial. She's so well-mannered. She's so well-mannered. She's so well-dressed. Yes, when it comes to her dressing style, she's very properly dressed, very appropriately dressed, I would say. She would never look vulgar. I've never seen a Virgo woman looking vulgar. Never seen her looking vulgar. She's always organized. Whatever she wants to do, she's always organized. All her things are set, okay? She will have a diary. Virgo women, you have a diary or an agenda in which everything is noted perfectly. Sometimes even it's colored, like if it's for the family, it's red in color. If it is for the office, it will be yellow in color. If it is for the doctor's appointment, it will be orange in color or things like that, like she'll make color-wise differentiation or discrimination also between her, in her agenda so that she knows it, which is what. She's very organized and she's very meticulous. Nothing escapes her detailed side. She's very detail oriented. And this is where the warning bell comes for the Virgo ladies, because what happens is that she's so much into the details that many a time she misses out the larger picture, the bigger picture is missed by her. She's somebody who will, always plan and organize things. For example, her day, she organizes it much more in advance. It's not the last minute thing for her. She will organize things and accordingly she wants to go about it. It has to be her timetable. She has to follow it because she's organized, otherwise she'll feel messed up. And this is where when it comes to her work life also, when she has to work in a group, and if people in her group are not as organized as her, then she has a mess. She gets anxious, she gets overwhelmed. She can even, have tantrums, like like she'll be like, what's happening, like aren't you guys serious about anything? She'll not be happy about it. And that's why many a times the Virgo ladies have problems working in groups because she has her way of doing things and she has her organized way of doing things. She knows basically what is where, as she's very brainy and very sharp and very witty. She knows, everything the way it has to progress. This is what she knows. But if at all it is otherwise with her team members who are very sloopy, floppy, then I think she will start pulling her hair. Not theirs, but her own hair. She will start pulling, and she was like, please give me a break, guys. Come on now. Let's do this. Let's do that. It will be like that. And if she has to lead her team, she can be quite a boss on that. Like, she would want it really, even if there is this much of a problem, that she will want to correct it, rectify it, so that everything is just as perfect as she is. This is the word for her. She is a perfect woman. And she needs everything to be done perfectly. And then that's a problem, because others are not as perfect as her. And then it can create stress inside of her, because she cannot control them. So the stress starts controlling her inside of her. And this is where the problem starts for her. She will therefore at home and at work try to do things on her own. Like, when she is at work, she will try to do everything on her own, because she feels if she delegates the work, Virgo lady, if she delegates the work, it's a mess, because it will not be done in a proper way. She always has that fear that it will not be done in a proper way, because she knows how to do things, and she knows and she does it, because she's an action oriented lady. It's not just blah blah with her, okay? She's an action oriented lady. She knows what she has to achieve. She just doesn't speak, but she achieves. She might be a woman of few words also at her workplace, where, okay, this is a project given to me, now I have to work it. How am I going to go around it? She gets organized. Who are the people who I have to work with? She will try to coordinate with them, and she will set a target or a deadline for herself, like how to go about it. If she's doing it alone, then day and night she will work so that she finishes it at that particular moment that she had decided. This was the deadline on the 25th of November, for example. I have to finish this, and she will work no matter how big that project is, how big that job is. She will do it, and she will finish it on that day, no matter how much of a problem she has on her physical level also at that time, because of all the stress that she always takes. She will achieve this. She will achieve this work, and then she is, so satisfied when she achieves her goals, because for her it is, it is her own self-appraisal that she holds for herself. And if she cannot, then she becomes very miserable inside of her. Then she considers herself a bit of a loser. Then she can be sarcastic. Then she can get bitter also with herself and with others also. At that time, you shouldn't come closer to her, or try to poke things that can hurt her. Yeah, never do that. It doesn't work like this with the Virgo lady. It works for a Virgo lady. It is all about encouragement, okay? Don't try to teach her a subject that you don't know any at all, okay? Just trying to, if you show her you are a know-it-all, and if she has a wonderful, how do I say, an upper hand over you in that, then she will very honestly and brutally tell you, very, humbly also she will tell you, like, I think what you're saying doesn't make sense to me at all. She can be perfectly sarcastic and critical at the same time. Her weapons are sarcasm and criticism. These two she can use to slay the person who tries to go on her other side. So better not mess with her on those, my dear ones. If you're dating a Virgo lady, and if you don't know a subject well, she will spot out immediately. Be honest. If you want a Virgo lady to become your life partner, if you're dating one, or if you have your eyes on one, I have to tell you, my dear ones, that the only way you can achieve her is through your honesty. She prefers honest people. She doesn't like fake people. She just dislikes the fakeness in people, because she's very honest inside of her. She believes in her principles, her values, her convictions are very, very strong. She's very principled on her things. And if you are dishonest, then, my dear, you can have a problem. And that's the reason the Virgo ladies don't settle down very early in life. There are only a few lucky Virgo ladies who are, who find the kind of the mate they are looking for, the partner they are looking for. Because what happens is that not everybody is as honest, not everybody is as devoted and loyal like her. So she wants to look for the like kind of a mate. And unfortunately, she gets her heart bruised because of that. And the very first person that the Virgo lady dates, I've noticed that. And if that person doesn't live up to her standards or hurts her or breaks her heart, I have to tell you is that she will prefer to be a spinster all her life. She will never marry anyone. Her first love is a very detrimental person in her life. She has to really be careful of who she chooses to give her heart to. Really, she has to be extremely careful, because this lady is so honest, she's so loyal, and then she has somebody coming into her life, and then she gives her heart to someone, and this person, if he deceives her, if he cheats on her, she's so fixed in her ideas and so rigid about that loyalty, honesty things, that she loses her trust in all the men. And then it becomes very difficult for her she becomes crippled by that act. Then it's difficult for her to get back and find somebody else. She will always keep doubting the second person if he comes into her life. Even if he's the best guy, she will doubt him for a long time. She will want him to prove that he is the one. And she will take a long time before she says yes to you. That's the problem. And I've also seen some Virgo ladies who then, become flirtatious also. Like, I was played, my heart was being played with, so I'm going to do the same thing now. That hurt makes her hurt others then in the future. Without any intention of marriage, she will just flirt. It's very rare, okay? There are very few Virgo ladies who can go to that other extreme. But the other, I would say, the majority of the Virgo ladies are the ones who are really, who prefer to be alone, to stay alone. And it is like, I have learned my lesson now. I don't want to open another book to learn a new lesson. I don't want that. So they take a long time to commit to somebody. But if you are the lucky one, and if the Virgo lady has committed to you, then you have to feel that, yes, I have achieved something impossible. Because it's really, really very difficult to win her heart. It's very difficult to make this woman your wife. Very, very difficult. Her standards are too high. Her requirements are too high. Honesty, she shouldn't be cheap because it's extremely expensive. So honesty, she requires the first thing. Devotion is the second thing. Then she requires organized neatness in you. She will also look for you if you have that kind of artificial, liking for artificial things. It's an absolute no for her, okay? She's not superficial, okay? She's more natural. This lady is very natural. Because she's an earth sign, so it's all earthy energy inside of her. She's very natural. Be it her inclination towards the natural things is like she loves the handicrafts. If you go to a house, pick and span, wonderful. You will see many beautiful handicrafts. She loves things that are made with hand. Yeah, not something, like the machines, you put something and then something comes out from there. No. If she will take time to see that she has some beautiful statues that are made with the hand, that are sculpted with the hand. Yeah. Then embroideries. Yeah. Those are sewed by those old grannies or those ladies who have sewed them. She will buy this kind of, kerchiefs or tablecloths, or the carpets in her house also, or the curtains, because she's very artistic inside of her. She also can do all those things also. So her house is like an art heaven for me. It's really like an art heaven. It's like everything is very much in its proper place. Everything has a place in her house. You go and you put out your shoes under the table, under the dining table, she'll get mad. She will tell you, this is not the place, please put it in the shoebox, or please put it where they belong. She will tell you 1, 2, 3 times. The 4th time, you better find your your home slippers in the dustbin. Because that's it. You have been told, you never listened to it. Now they are in the dustbin. They are gone. And then you're like, where am I? I don't know. I just put them off because they were always hanging around. So I thought that you didn't know where they belonged, or that you didn't need them. So that's it. They are gone for recycling. And then you learn the lesson. It's like, wow, I shouldn't have done that. She would want you to wear iron clothes, nicely ironed clothes. Even if you're not wearing very expensive stuff, you have to be clean. She's a hygiene freak, my dear. She's a hygiene freak. As her house is clean, so should her body, mind, and soul be. That is it for her. I don't know how many of you have seen or not. I have a Virgo moon, so I know I have that tendency. It's like every time I touch something which is not okay, I'll go and wash my hands. And I always carry my antiseptic. Always carry my antiseptic in my bag also. Virgo ladies have that habit. They will always have something to wash their hands. You will see them, always, like after food or after doing things, always they will clean themselves up. They like to be clean. They like to be clean. Not just on their clothes, but their body is very important to them also. And up to a certain level, it's okay, my dear Virgo lady. But sometimes it's done in excess. I will tell you this story. It is my mother's aunt, okay? She was a Virgo lady. And my mother told us this story is that they were going on the train, with this aunt of theirs and her sister. And, on the Indian railway stations, normally we take a newspaper, and in that, the person, they give some, how do you call it? In Hindi, we call it vada, okay? So the batata vada means the, how do you say, potato, I don't know, how do you say vada? Potato, the filling, it's a kind of a dish with a lot of potato stuffed in it, okay? And it's very, very delicious, okay? So this batata vada, this potato vada, that person had given to them, like, oh, thank you for coming and all. And this guy took it on the railway station and packed it and gave it. So my mother said that after some time, like she was the child at the time, and she was like, oh, I would like to, have the vada, And then she just opened that and she was about to eat, and there comes a hand and holds her hand and like, what are you doing? It's like, she said, and what's the matter? And then she said, do you see that newspaper? It's so dirty. How many people must have touched that newspaper? And then on that food has been put. And then you are going to eat all those microbes with it. Do you realize that? So my mother said, later on she said, like, she felt as if she was going to die if she ate that, because there were so many microbes that were attacked, So this is the other side, the hyper side of the Virgo woman, is that she's extremely, extremely cleanliness prone. I mean, she would almost watch the newspaper before reading it. To this level that can go. So my mother said, oh my God, she was a Virgo lady and she was really, really completely overly concerned. But I feel it's the Virgo, Cleanliness is very important. But at the same time, many a times it can go a bit overboard and people might feel, ooh, is she having an OCD or does she have some germophobia or something like that? Yeah. But actually, sometimes I feel it's really nice, because for me, whenever I used to go to work at the hospital, I used to put my gloves because I never wanted to touch those lift buttons with my naked fingers. Because I used to say, I'm at the hospital, tens of thousands of people have touched this, and if I'm going to touch this and then I am going to put my hand over my face, it's going to create a problem. So I was always putting gloves and then doing that, and then I had to remove my gloves. So I used to feel very, very clean, okay? And it was true that it was really helping me to avoid many infections also. While most of them were sick, I wasn't. Touch wood. So Virgo ladies, I am with you up to the level till, it's in balance, okay? It shouldn't be too much exaggerated also. I think I have also gone a bit overboard, but now, yes. And because of that, what happens, my dear Virgo ladies, is that your immunity is a bit low, is less to take infections, because too much of sanitizing takes place, and because of that the normal bacteria, like for example your children, Your children, they will play in the mud. It's always good to let your kids play in the mud. Of course, not with the cuts and all. If they are not vaccinated for tetanus, you shouldn't. But you should allow them, because this is what makes them immune also to certain bacteria and microbes. And you should also allow them to play with pets at a very young age, so that they don't develop the allergy. Most of the Virgos can suffer these things because they are very cleanliness prone, always washing hands, not touching here, not touching there. I told you just now. And because of that, immunity becomes less. The smallest of things can cause infection. Then the thing is about being perfect all the time. What happens is that the stress gets accumulated here in the tummy. Yeah. Then the intestine, the tummy, everything starts getting affected by it. A lot of stress. Most of the Virgos have psychosomatic problems because everything cerebral attacks the stomach, and stomach and brain are completely, they are married. So, well, this is how things are flowing. And then the immunity gets affected also. So this is one thing that the Virgos need to take care. And if you're the partner of the Virgo, you have to be patient with them. Because it's true that the partners of the Virgo get a bit, like, it's a bit like, what is she up to? What is she doing? What is all this? Like, stop it. Yeah, you can eat sometimes some unhealthy food. Once in a while, you can have an unhealthy burger. It's okay to do that. We're not going to die about when we eat that, like, it's true. And Virgo ladies, you also have to be a bit submissive on certain things. So this is what happens with the Virgo lady. Then, when it comes to her relationship, as I told you, she takes a long time to get into a relationship. But once she gets into a relationship, she's a very committed partner. A long distance relationships is no issue with her. In fact, she's a very good writer, I think if you're in a long distance relationship with a Virgo lady, that can be very sweet because she writes so well. She's so romantic. She will write poetries, or the way she writes to you is like a poetry, is like an article. Yeah, she writes very well. This is why she hails. Like, I would say she does very well in journalism also, or in public speaking also she does very well. Or as a writer, she does very well because her ideas are so beautiful. She's such a philosopher in her mind. She's such a philosopher. She writes so well. And if it's your birthday, she will send you gifts, like those handmade gifts. And she will wrap them up so well and so beautifully, When you receive it, you will feel all her love that has wrapped it all and sent it to you. But long distance relationship, not for very long, because she also wants, as she's an earth sign, she wants to be grounded. She wants to have you for real in her life, not just at a distance, She wants you for real. She wants to make a family with you. She wants to have a healthy, stable home with you, with your kids. And with the kids, she's a beautiful mother, very, very beautiful mother, very clean, very caring. She doesn't like to see them sick at all. She takes all the care. Wash your hands with the Dettol soap. No, your socks are not clean. Put those clean socks. I'll put them for you. Oh, your uniform has to be properly ironed. Food, no, you will not eat the outside sweets, not at all. I will make for you at home. I'll get the bio flour and I'm going to make those things for you over here. No pizzas from outside. They are industrial. You don't understand? I'm going to make it. I'm going to bake it at home for you. No, that icing is not good. It's not good. Last time you coughed. You're not going to take it. Okay? So this is how it goes for the Virgo lady. She's going to do that for her kids. And yes, she's very, very concerned about the future. Her children will be very well behaved, very polite also, because this is what she is, properly dressed. If you go to her children's room, she's one person, one mother that she wants her children's room to be clean. She will want. But if her child is a bit lazy on that, she will not be very happy. Mess in your house is mess inside of her, okay? It creates mess inside of her. It creates lots of anxiety and tensions. For a Virgo to be happy, she needs cleanliness around. If she wakes up in the morning and if she sees, if she was not well, and if she goes in her kitchen and if she sees that the kitchen is a mess, she will feel like crying. or she will not feel good at all. She will start cleaning it first, even if she doesn't have much energy. This is how she is. So with her children, she would want them perfectly to hang their clothes where they have to be, put their shoes in the proper boxes, arrange their book cupboards, their bags, everything has to be good. Even if she has the permission, she will even check their compass box. Oh, what is that? The pencil, how do you say, after sharpening the pencil, everything, you left it over here. No, go and put it in the dustbin. She's very good at that. She's very good at being in connection with the nature. This is what brings her a lot of pleasure. She loves the nature. When she is in the green paths, somehow, it soothes her. So if you are her partner, my dear, then you know what, in order to soothe her, take her to a place where everything is natural, because right from her cosmetics to her food to her medicines, she prefers things which are natural. Okay, she will prefer to take a parallel medicine that is made up of plants and herbs and things like that, rather than going for antibiotics directly. She will always find alternatives. She will always carry it in her bag also, all right? Even if it's for a short distance, she has to go for one day somewhere, she will still carry her homeopathy or her phytotherapy, or, her stress roll that she can roll on this, and she smells it and then she feels, I am relaxed, So she will carry it in her bag. Even her cosmetics also, to the level she will start using, some chemical stuff, and then she will realize that, no, this is not fair. Then she will go to her grandmother's recipes of beauty, and then she will start using all your kitchen vegetables, spices, everything, in order to make her skin look beautiful. She is all about being natural. She is natural, 100% natural. Even if you see her, you will feel, oh, she's a snob, see the way she carries herself. No, she's just teaching you to be clean. She's just teaching you how to be more natural, how to be more associated with your surrounding in a healthy way. I feel she's feng shui in her house. She's feng shui, yeah, because everything is just properly arranged in a way that there is no clutter, no mess. Be it at work, be it at home. There's no clutter, no mess, only action. This is what she believes in. The downside for the Virgo woman, however, is she can be very moody. She has her mood swings also, and you have to understand, because it's not very easy to be perfect. It's not very easy to be perfect, especially when others are not. When everybody is on the same page, everything is nice. And what happens is that even if her maid comes at home to work, she can have the tendency to be on her back and watch her clean each and everything. And if she feels she's not doing it well, if she has already cleaned a vessel, she will go and she will clean the vessel again, so that it is 100% clean. So what happens, my dear Virgo lady, is that you end up not delegating, you end up doing double work, and then you're exhausted. So when you're tired, you become moody. And when you're moody, it's not really a good news for all those around you, because they will be distributed a bit of sarcasm and criticism here and there. So this is what happens to you, Virgo lady. And her stress, as I said, it affects her tummy. So she has to take care. My dear Virgo lady, you have to take care with your stress. So meditation, yoga, qigong, tai chi, hatha yoga, or even reciting positive affirmations, deep breathing is very, very good for you. It's highly recommended and suggested for you, my dear Virgo lady, because this is what you need. And I have seen my Virgo friends also, at one point of time, they take to meditation, they take to they go for seminars that are telling them how to live a wonderful life. It's the art of living. How do you do that? Yeah. How do you have a sattvic life? How do you have a sattvic ahar? Means what is that feeds your mind, your body and soul. It starts with the food. It starts with your mind. So they go for this. One thing I like about my Virgo friends, lady friends, is that they have a wonderful sense of humor. I mean, I have a friend, her name is Chetna, she's a Virgo. Kiran also. Hi Kiran. Chetna, you must be watching this video. I mean, I have spent more time with Chetna, but I know that so much fun, I mean, everything, it's a sarcastic humor, okay? So you need to have that frequency also to catch that humor, And we used to do it a lot, We used to really, we used to do it a lot. Like if there used to be somebody who is like, telling us, oh, you should do this, you should do that, and things like that. And then she used to just, quietly, she used to say in my ears, as like a blind person showing the way, And I was like, and I used to start laughing because I just couldn't control the laughter because, she would just whisper it in my ears, a blind person showing the way. It's like, she's doing completely everything opposite, but see, she's trying to show us the way, And I mean, and I used to start laughing, and that used to sometimes get me into trouble, but I don't, regret it. But it was the truth, because for them it's like, come on, what you're preaching, you have to be that, okay? Practice before you preach, because they do practice before they preach. This is what you have to understand about the Virgo ladies. Regarding their romantic life, Virgo ladies will appear very cold, right? They are now Virgo partners. Now you listen to it, okay? And later on, I don't know if you're comfortable in a very subtle way. You can let me know in the comments. But otherwise, it's like the Virgo ladies. She looks very quiet, very composed, very cold, very neat, very tidy. Yeah. But when it comes to her romance, when it comes to her and him in their private space, then she is quite a volcano. She is quite expressive. She's extremely expressive over there. Like the Virgo partner might feel, oh, I thought that, like she's very, it will be difficult with her, but she has very intense physical desires that she will shower upon her partner. So there's nothing to lose. But of course, she's very intense there. Yeah. And it comes as a surprise many a times to the Virgo partner is that he feels she is very shy, very withdrawn and all. But actually, she can be the opposite when it comes to their private space, just between both of them. She's highly romantic. She is, the lust part is also quite a lot. And I tried to understand, how can she be so, having this excessive physical desire? Why? I tried to understand that, and I understood something is that she's a perfectionist, right? So in everyday life, she accumulates a lot of stress also related to all her work, everything that she does. So she has to let out her emotions somewhere. She has to get it out. And in her private space with you, she does it in this way. This is what I found out. The root cause is something else, but it comes out as her excessive physical desire also. But of course, then, Virgo is a very balanced sign again. So what she will try to do is she will try to again balance it through physical exercises and things like that. Later in life, she becomes more and more deeper into her spiritual aspects and healthy way of living. So no excess. But at the beginning, she will be a bit like that. And mind you, my dear, never deceive a Virgo person, because she is extremely honest lady. I have known a Virgo lady who was my, how do you call it? When you live in a hostel or a place where there are people who take care of you. So I was in a hostel where I was living, and this Virgo lady was my rector. Some of you will understand this term. Rector is the person who sees, takes care of all the administration there. And she was very harsh, this Virgo lady was very harsh. She was very withdrawn, and she was always very rude with everyone. And then on the 15th of September was her birthday, and I don't know, still I used to find some sweetness in her, so I just bought her a present and I took it to her, and she was sitting with her pet. Pets, they love pets. So she was sitting with her pet over there in her room, and I said, ma'am, a very happy birthday to you, and I gave her the gift, and I shook hands with her, and she was like, she looked at me like, like, because she was very harsh with all of us, but I don't know, I felt like wishing her on her birthday, and she said, oh, you touch my heart, she said, And she had a bit of tears in her eyes, and she said, come, you want to go for a walk? I said, okay, ma'am, I'll just put my bags and I come back. And we went for a walk with her. And then she said, oh, one day you will be married, but just make sure that you should choose the right man. You know, men are hopeless, she said to me, and, you know, you shouldn't trust them. And then I understood with the way she spoke. I said, ma'am, have you been hurt by a man? And she was like, you know, I was going to get married. And she told me that she was living abroad and the guy was living in India, and they were, you know, having this long distance relationship, and they were going to get married. So they were engaged to get married. And she said, I had come to India afterwards, and then I wanted to, you know, buy my wedding dress. So I was, you know, and it was like in 2 weeks she was supposed to get married or so. So she said, I wanted to get my wedding dress. So I was going, she was shopping in Bombay at that time, and she had a car accident, and it was a bad accident. So she was hospitalized. Her backbone had got injured at that time. And she said, you know, Sylvia, I loved this man. And I said, so ma'am, like what happened when he came? She said, you know what? He came to see me. He saw my condition, and in 1 week's time, he sent me another wedding card showing me that he's getting married to someone else. And I was in a mess. I couldn't walk, she said. And do you know how I must have felt when I received this wedding card? This Virgo lady was telling me, he was the love of my life, but he deceived me, she said. And since then, she says, I don't like men, and I have closed myself, and I will. But I said, one day if somebody nice comes to you, she says, no, I will not trust, because she said she had put on a lot of weight, because after she went into depression and antidepressive she took, she really put on a lot of weight. And she said, do you think anybody will come to me, look at me? I said, no, but your heart is good, ma'am. And, you know, you're a beautiful person. So she was like, no, never, never I will make that mistake again. Once a deception, always a deception, she said. I didn't agree to her completely on that, but I could fathom how her heart had broken, and because of that she had become a harsh, sarcastic and a rude person. So my dear ones, if you are dating a Virgo, don't play with her heart, please, because that young Neela, now she was an older lady, but she had lived alone, but she had lived with those broken pieces of heart. Yeah. And that was really a very painful thing for me to learn on that day. But at the same time, I saw that somehow I felt she still had the love for this man, even if he had deceived her. So Virgo loves with all her heart. So never, never, never break her heart, my dear ones. She's a wonderful, pure, honest lady, unless you go on her other side. And sometimes you see her rudeness, her sarcasm, and she's not very good, okay? You feel, oh, she's a pain in the neck and things like that, but she has a reason for it. She has been hurt by something, and because of that hurt, today she is what she is. And each of us is a product of our circumstances and of our experiences also. So especially with the Virgo lady, I saw that, because she cannot turn the page then, you know. She gets stuck on that, and so she can be a bit self-destructive because she has all the things that she can, you know, live a wonderful life, but somehow she blocks that flow of life because of this honesty being reciprocated by deception and dishonesty. So never, never be dishonest. If you love her, you will have the best gem for yourself. And if you don't, if you want to, you know, if you don't love her, please stay away from her. Don't hurt her. This is my really, I'm requesting this, my dear ones, to you. Never hurt this lady, because what you are giving to her, if it is not good, it is better that you don't give it to her, because somebody better deserves her honesty and her beautiful love. Okay, and yes, her honest and beautiful smile, that shine in her eyes and that beautiful face. She's a very beautiful lady, both in her heart and on her face also. So that will always make your day. No matter what, she is the homemaker. She's wonderful. She's the brainy, beautiful homemaker that you can ever have in your life, and a very wonderful colleague also. Even if she appears to be a bit too demanding, you know, you have to know she's a perfectionist, and it's never easy to be a perfectionist. Well, I can go on and on. Thank you, my dear ones, for listening. Please do let me know how did you find this video, and please do let me know the other points that I must have missed out on. And please do like, share, and comment. And yes, it is all about understanding each other through this different zodiac sign personality traits, because I really feel it's very important. Misunderstandings occur just because we don't understand the other. So I'm purposely making these videos because I really feel that if we understand each other, then we can create a better world also, and it can help us to understand, to improve our relationships with each other. So thank you very much, and I shall see you next time with another video. Until then, God bless, take care, and thank you, Virgos, for your lovely honesty and that lovely smile that you keep on giving to all of us. Bye bye. God bless. Take care. Bye.